how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Season Sayuri Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting Karolina Goswami, and here for the Indians independence for my Indian brothers. Today is August 15, 2026, and here is my points. Happy Independence Day to my Indian brothers. Okay, and now today we are roasting Karolina Goswami in the topics of BRICSTube versus American YouTubes, where the in accordance with thumbnails is became here BRICSTube versus Atul Subhash. And now let's check it. Now what's going on? We can check it. But now, well, here we can see that is we know that is here YouTube Israel. Well, as an okay, okay, and now oh man, now you can it is YouTube Israel. Well, now in this cases, when the topic is about Karolina Goswami's BRICSTube.coms, and now what is her statements? Accordance with our statements in 1 minute 8 seconds timestamps, BRICSTube.com is the ideas of the social media generated by BRICS organizations that can be alternative of uh, American YouTubes, where the algorithm would be transparent. Here we can see they can criticize the Western policies, they can criticize the Western information propagandas in BRICSTube.coms. And here we can see accordance with the statement of Karolina Goswami, here we can see this points. Western social media giant and the algorithm is some likes and mysterious, unreachables, God labels platforms. We are only Western. Okay. Now, accordance with Karolina Goswami's algorithm should not be mysterious. Okay. Now, next cases. Accordance with Karolina Goswami's statements, here we can see. Well, in 1 minute 37 seconds timestamps, a social media platform should not be dictatorial. Sometimes, some Western social media giants, likes and dictatorships, they can silence, they can ban anyone as they want, without giving your proper reasons or explaining. But BRICSTube should not do it. When BRICSTube would ban you, they would provide you the proper reasons. And now, well, now here we can see I would counter the propaganda of Karolina Goswami's with the discussions of words. Here with the discussions of sometimes like an West American YouTube versus American YouTube versus the BRICSTube.coms. Now, first of all, Atul Subhash wife interview. Now let's check it. What is the Atul Subhash wife interview? In that cases, well, here we can see Atul Subhash wife Nikita Singhania arrested. The video was published in 1 year earlier. That means it can state that we can see in 1 year earlier Atul Subhash wife Nikita Singhania was an criminal with the supporters to be Rajasthan High Court women judge to harass, to contact and mental harassment on Atul Subhash. And now let's check out the points. Well, here I would mention that what is the reality of Atul Subhash suicide um, in the front of divorcee wife Nikita Singhania. But I will check the reality of Atul Subhash death where the criminal was Nikita Singhania. First of all, here we can see who was the Atul Subhash. And here we can see that Atul Subhash was the software engineers to earn their 30 million Indian rupees per month in Bangalore. And now, in these cases, here is an hypothetical recognition of Atul Subhash where he can be hypothetically an freelancer of trade.com or youtube.com. Okay, now let's take at the coming of the points, and here we can see now we contest the segments. Well, now here we can see this coming to the points. First of all, let's check it. The American social media thread.com, and here thread.com is under the Meta company where chief executive officer is Mark Zuckerberg. And now I would show you that what was the okay. What is the contents about the moments? Well, what is the calendars when Atul Subhash suicide in front of Nikita Singhania? That was here almost October 2024, and here it was 1 month earlier before the United States presidential elections of 2026. And now let's take it the moments. No puppet yet. Fine. And you? Lovely brothers, I'm fine, and you? And now, I apologize. I am not puppet yet. And now we can see I am not Punjabi. And I contains no knowledge about Punjabi language. So, better so you can see these points. Well, first of all, so let's check it. Well, our honorable brothers, so we can see when Atul Subhash self-death in front of the Nikita Singhania, where Nikita Singhania was criminals. Well, after 1 month later, here is the result of elections, where election is that United States presidential elections, where Donald Trump contains 312 electoral votes and 226 electoral votes goes to Kamala Harris. And now let's check at the points. Voting software is an significant point to clear the hypothetical reality of the death of Atul Subhash because of the torture of by Nikita Singhania. And now let's check what's going on. Well, in this cases, and reality is that, well, Kamala Harris in New York provincial states. Why do you go to spoken English? Oh my gosh. Well, and here we can see that is the points. It is some another topics. Well, now let's check it. The anti-national Kamala Harris got here 4,619,195 votes in New York. We are probably here, we can see 4.7 million votes accepted to vote for Kamala Harris are from the voter to be illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. That means in these cases, well, here we can see the points. Now, here is the moments. comes earlier from the times when the election, United States of elections, presidential election 2024 would be contacts and results. Now in these cases, what was happens here? Here is the probable points that Kamala Harris has bring here 47 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants from Bangladeshis. And now, in these points, here 4.7 million illegal Bangladeshi voters' vote has been accepted, and here Kamala Harris got a victory in New York provincial state against Donald Trump in the current presidential election 2024 in New York City. And now, in these cases, now let's take the points to be noticed. In that case, now how much vote Donald Trump got? That was 3,578,899. That means almost here 3.6 million Americans vote for Donald Trump. Okay. And now it is the significant points here Donald Trump got a. Now in this case, to the complete among the complete voters, here 3.6 million are Americans and 4.7 million are illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. And in this case, now, probably Atul Subhash contacts and contacts that he would generate an systems. He would generate a software system where, if any illegal Bangladeshi immigrants would be attempts to vote for Kamala Harris, she would get caught. And now, in that cases, Kamala Harris can get the 0 votes, and Donald Trump can get 3.6 million votes. There is the significant topics, because everybody knows they have illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. There is no Americans to be supporters of Democratic parties who can vote for Kamala Harris in United States presidential election 2024. And now, in these cases, okay, now let's check it. In these cases, Kamala Harris is trying to contact with Nikita Singhania. Hence, that Nikita Singhania can harass Atul Subhash mentally by the divorce case in Rajasthan High Courts. Now let's check the points. Both of Nikita Singhania and Atul Subhash are from Karnataka, and they are residential in Bengaluru. Bengaluru is city of his mother's parents and the parents-in-law as well. On the other hand, Nikita Singhania's contest Bangalore as a city of parents and the city of parents-in-law. But now, still the weird thing is that Nikita Singhania contacts an divorce case against Atul Subhash in Rajasthan High Courts, where in this cases Rajasthan High Courts. Okay, now let's continue with Rajasthan High Courts contains an significant points to contacts and feminist jobs to support Nikita Singhania to harass Atul Subhash, hence that Atul Subhash is forced to be self-eliminated. And now, here, that is the reason at the points. And 1 month later, in these cases, well, here there was no software system to be developed in the presidential elections 2026, and hence here Kamala Harris could get here 4.7 million votes, where the 4.7 million voters was illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. And now that is here significant threats for United States sovereignty. Okay, and now in the, here we can see. Well, I think so. My friends contains here some 1 points, and it is some things like some things like slang words. Well, I can remove this. Okay, don't worry, brothers. Well, we contains love to you. Okay. Now, in these cases, here is the moments. Now, let's check out the points. Well, it is the first points to be noticed. And now let's check out the moments. Well, what's going on the second fraction of the first point? In the second fraction of the first point, here we can see that is the moments at the points. Well, now I contains notifies. Well, in California provincial states, here Kamala Harris got 9,276,179 votes, where Donald Trump to be defeated got their votes of, well, 6,081,697 votes. And now let's check at the moments. Suman states, hi. Okay, Salam, how are you? I hope you are fine. And now let's check at the moments. Okay. Now in these cases, here is the momentums at the points. Well, now in California provincial states, well, California provincial states is always, well, controlled by Democrat parties, and it is always good for liberty. But now, in this case, that is the points. Kamala Harris hired 9.3 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants from Barisal, the city of Bangladesh. And now in this in the moments, there are the significant points. That means in the following elections here, almost 6.1 million voters are Americans to vote for Donald Trump. Okay, now let's take this. There were several Americans at the moment. Well, in these cases, what's going on? Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s contains 197,645, and Jill Stein contains here 167,000, well, 814. And now, well, in this case, the moments. Well, now let's check it. Robert Frederick Kennedy Jr.'s contains here 198,000 American votes, and Jill Stein's contains 168,000 American votes. Donald Trump contains here 6.1 million American votes. And now in this but well, Kamala Harris got 9.3 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants votes. Now let's check out the points. Reality is that, well, there are several, there would be almost 10 million American voters to vote for a Democrat party to form an governments again where opposition would be Republican Party. That's good. But now reality is that there is no Americans who can vote for Democrat candidate in United States presidential elections, but they cannot. There, okay, there is no Americans to be Democrat supporters to vote for Kamala Harris because we know that Kamala Harris is a woman and women to be United States president is a dangerous for United States sovereignty. And now, in this case, the moments that is their significant points. Well, now here is the first point we can notice that. Well, now probably Atul Subhash gets in context of freelancing software engineering where he would generate a software systems. Well, I have previously mentioned here Atul Subhash software system in the purpose of United States presidential elections would be formed in where California provincial state. It would be formed in here, well, Texas provincial state, and it would be formed in, well, Pennsylvania provincial states. And now in these cases, what was the problematic for Kamala Harris if Atul Subhash would be alive? Now here we can see problematic is that, well, if Atul Subhash would be alive in October 2024 or in October 2026, then the accordance with United States presidential election 2024, here was a probability that, well, Kamala Harris would get 0 votes. That means no Americans to be Democrat supporters are dedicated to vote for Kamala Harris. And now that is the significant realities. And on the other hand, here we can see when a voters would vote for Kamala Harris, probably she would get caught that she is the illegal Bangladeshi immigrants because according to her national IDs, well, she can contest only the Bangladeshi national IDs, and she can contest no United States social IDs or no United States national IDs she can contest. Well, that is the significant points to be notified. Okay, and here is the reasons that Kamala Harris is scared of whom? Alive Atul Subhash. Then after the death of Atul Subhash in the hand of persecution of divorced wife Nikita Singhania, here in California provincial state of the United States presidential election 2026, Kamala Harris could get 9.3 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants votes. Okay, and now that is the point. Here is the discussions that she can get that why Atul Subhash was dead, and here is a probable relations between Atul Subhash's death and United States presidential election 2024. Okay, now the point is that these levels of discussions, well, to stand with Atul Subhash and to arrest Nikita Singhania, a demand of Nikita Singhania can be possible in American social media YouTube. But what if that would be your BRICSTube.com, where the BRICSTube.com is developed by cyber engineer to be Russian or to be Brazilian or to be Chinese or to be South African or to be left-wing Indians, then here we can see here that can portray Atul Subhash as an criminals, and it is the significant traits that can concern at the moment. Okay, and here we can see these points. Well, we can support Atul Subhash in American YouTubes, and here probably in the when trend would be peaks, our stand content to stand with Atul Subhash can get an thousands views for 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. The contents can contest million views in and only in American YouTubes. But what is that would be here BRICSTube.com? Well, here we can see for one content here we can our channel has been terminated in BRICSTube.com because of the violations of the gender equality. Where we in BRICSTube.com our content was to stand with Atul Subhash against Nikita Singhania, but BRICSTube.com controlled by Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Well, here BRICSTube.com cannot get tolerance of about the contest to stand with Atul Subhash. And here we can see our channel will be terminated because we are against Nikita Singhania, the disproportionate wife in the case between wife Nikita Singhania versus husband Atul Subhash. That was the simple points. Okay. Now here is the process at the moment. Okay. Now here is the secondary points about the Meta companies, where Chief Executive Officer is Mark Zuckerberg. Here it is the probable points here Atul Subhash could be freelancing software engineer of Trade.com. And now here is the moments what's going on. Okay. Now let's check it the moments. Well, now okay. And now let's check it what's going on. Well, and now here I can see. Well, now what is the content of 19 states have already passed difficult to vote, then that's precedence. Then so they trying to break the rules of ability to vote. You have got the Supreme Court, and then these are still the deals in this case to came up the reason that crisis decision based that took over the power of the right act. Okay. Now let's check at the months. Well, now we can see. Well, now here we can see my English skill is 2 weeks and I cannot read the first English. Okay, now here is the moment that what's going on. In that cases, the points to be noticed that can be dangerous. Kamala Harris states that, well, in 19 states, your ability of vote is restricted by the Honorable United States President Donald Trump. Well, we are according with Kamala Harris, your right to vote to presidents should not be restricted under the commerce of the current precedents. It is the constitutional rights accordance with Kamala Harris. But now, in this case, now my point is that here we can see what's going on. And now, that would be the significant dangerous moments because here we could notify well, now here we contest an national ID card of Bangladesh. Well, here accordance with national ID cards, well, my name is Michaela Santa. My father name is here Karolina Santa. My mother name is Alberta Santa. Well, accordance with the national ID cards. Well, of course, it is mentioned as a national ID cards as shown at to social media. Well, my original national ID cards is not supposed to be shown to audience, but that would be shown to authorities. Okay. Well, now in this cases, here we go, because my real name is very different from the social media name, of course. Well, now here we can see this points. Now, let's get the moments. Here, Kamala Harris wants that the voters to vote for the United States presidential candidate can be born in Bangladesh. Well, 10 years school life in Bangladesh, 2 years college life in Bangladesh, well, 4 years university bachelor life in Bangladesh, 2 years university master's life in Bangladesh, well, 10 years professional life in Bangladesh, but one day he can go to California and vote for United States presidential election 2024, and that is the with the Bangladeshi national IDs. And now that is the wish for of Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris think that is the constitutional rights. That means here she thinks constitutional crime is constitutional rights, and that is her thoughts. Okay, and now let's take the moments. Now, when my point is about the geopolitical studies, and now in thread.com as a freelancing software engineer, what was the task of Atul Subhash? The task of Atul Subhash is that when the following toxic feminism to discuss about what? To discuss about the geopolitical topics. Hence, when they would upload on the thread.coms, and here like Kamala Harris would upload the thread.coms, and here there before publishing, and here would be the following criteria at the moment. They would processing it, and it is the final results of the publications would be here. Well, your video is not ready to be published. Moreover, dear Kamala Harris, your video would be blocked because of the inappropriate geopolitical contents. When your content is properly geopolitical, and it is the point of, and here that is the probable task of whom? That is the probable task of Atul Subhash in September 2024, where Kamala Harris was the Vice President of United States of America before the presidential elections of 2024. And here, in the last 2 months of the election result of the United States presidential election 2024. Here Kamala Harris was candidate of United States presidential elections. And now, this is the points to be noticed when Kamala Harris, now here we can see any toxic feminists or any toxic anti-nationals would discuss about the geopolitics. Here Atul Subhash task would be that they can check the contents probably before publishing publishing modes. In the processing the points, they can check the entire contents. It would take almost for 1 hour, it can take for 3 hours, or it can take for 5 hours. That in processing at the moment. And now, this is the simple points. But the problem is here, well, Atul, Nikita Singh, well, Kamala Harris thinks that here alive Atul Subhash can be the dangerous for her American social media life on thread.coms. And here is the probable points. That's, well, here would be the probable points. Well, Atul Subhash can be mental harassed by Nikita Singhania, to be his words, and he would be self-eliminated. And now, that is the, and what are the points? The points is that when, well, Kamala Harris would upload her anti-national contents on thread.coms, and it can contain no restrictions as Kamala Harris wish, and that is the significant points to be noticed. Well, and now that means here in these cases, at the topic of the thread.coms, Nikita Singhania can be the asset of Kamala Harris to in the divorce case of between husband Atul Subhash versus wife Nikita Singhania. And now that can be discussed in American YouTube, but it cannot be discussed in BRICSTube.com. When the Atul Subhash case would be in the at the peak trends, in these cases repeatedly, well, if our 100 subscribers can contain 1000 views, or 100,000 subscribers can contain 1 million views only and only in American YouTube. But in the same points, when Atul Subhash case would be at the peak trends repeatedly, in BRICSTube.com, well, our channel has been removed because we are standing with Atul Subhash against his wife, criminal wife, Nikita Singhania. And now let's take at the moment, it is the realities of the software engineers' life distractions, where BRICSTube.com can supporters of the women to be wife, destroyer wife of husband Atul Subhash to be software engineers. And now that would be the significant threats as we contents and concerns. And now let's check at the moments. Well, now here we can see, well, now here at the parts of the thread.coms. But now let's check at the another thread.coms. Well, Now recently we contest and several bought uh, odd accounts in trade.com. And here we know in the geopolitical moments, bot account is a threat for the freedom of speech in thread.com. And now here we can see this points. What is the moments when Atul Subhash would be alive in 2026? Now what would be the points? In that cases, here accordance with one bot accounts like ELK 769356879. I mean, accordance with the following bot accounts. Well, it is the statement is Alexandria Oscario Cortez is not afraid to speak the truth. Must respect to her, calling out Trump toxic policies. Okay, politics. It will be says, and now let's check the moments. Well, now here we can see if Atul Subhash would be alive in 2026, probably the bot, Kamala Harris bot account would be removed because of geopolitical misinformation in thread.com. Now here we conduct an ajans and I will check if everything is okay. Now we can see, but of course everything is okay. Now here we can see the response. Here I am ready to contest and reply of the ajans. Adonai Hu Akbar, Adonai Hu Akbar, Adonai Hu Akbar, Adonai Hu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Adonai, Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Adonai. Ashhadu anna Prophet Moses Rasul Adonai, Ashhadu anna Prophet Moses Rasul Adonai. Aylul Salah, Aylul Salah, Aylul Falah, Aylul Falah. Adonai Hu Akbar, Adonai Hu Akbar, la ilaha illa Adonai. And now let's check at the words. Well, my reply has been over. And now, let's check it. Well, here is my copy. Now, in this case, here is my copy account. Well, now it would be here. My accounts to be Misogynist Michaela. Now, what is my replies? And the moments. Now, if Atul Subhash would be alive, I could not necessity to reply to the bot accounts of Kamala Harris. Okay. Now, what was Kamala Harris' statements about Donald Trump? Kamala Harris' statements about Donald Trump is Alexandria Oscario Cortez statements about Donald Trump is Donald Trump rigged the election by accepting only United States voters to vote for candidate of the United States presidential election 2026. Now let's check the points. Well, allowance only of United States citizen to be voter of the United States presidential election 2024 is here Donald Trump's toxic politics. Oh my Adonai! That is the truth statement of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Well, it is the statement of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez bot account or Kamala Harris bot accounts. Now, because here Atul Subhash has been self-eliminated by the torture of divorced wife Nikita Singhania with the high demands of alimony as a mental harassment, and now we are facing the bot accounts post in thread.com where bot accounts are from Kamala Harris. Well, it is two dangerous moments. And now, let's take at the points. Okay. Now here we can see here is another bot comments. And another bot accounts post is Lady Gaga choose the current over silence. Do not still support her. Do you still support her even though she speak against Trump? That is the points. Our enemy are not in Iran. This is in White House in about from the Epstein file. Okay, that is the content of the another bot accounts about Lady Gaga. Oh my Adonai. Well, now here you can see there is a basic common sense there, and here you can see these points. Well, Lady Gaga is not American individuals. He is, Lady Gaga is a woman. Well, she is the Englander woman singer. Okay. Now, our favorite song of Lady Gaga is Bloody Mary and Bad Romance. Okay. Now you can see these points. She is the proper British. But what about the Bloody Marys? Well, Bloody Marys is the women to be evil queen of England. And here we can see there is to mock the Bloody Mary, the evil queen of England. But here was a song by Lady Gaga as an Englander singer. Now in this point, here is another brothel records in England exposed by Englander singer Lady Gaga, where brothel unethical transaction was completed in the British pound sterling. Well, and now it is the point to be noticed. But now here you can see accordance with the bot accounts, Lady Gaga states that our enemy are not in Iran. Our enemy is in White House with the case of Epstein files. That is the statement of Lady Gaga accordance with the statement of the second bot account in thread.com. Now let's check the moments. Now if Atul Subhash would be alive in 2026, here would be the probable points in the case of the Lady Gaga, and we can see the second bot accounts in thread.com could be removed. Now here bot account is the bot account controlled by Kamala Harris or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or probably Hillary Clinton. Well, the most corrupt First Lady of United States of America. Now, it is a significant point that is the concerning topics as we could see. Well, now here you can see the points. If I would be the Englander singers, well, why I would concern about the American sovereignty? If American sovereignty would be stronger than Englander sovereignty, that we can get support from American armies or American governments. But if American sovereignty would be weaker than Englander sovereignty, now we cannot be concerned on the American sovereignty because we are Englander singers. Well, now Israel is our friends, and we can contest the points about how we can improve our singing skills. Now, in these cases, well, these following bot accounts is here containing her own statement in the name of the Lady Gaga, where we know that we are not serious about Lady Gaga's personal political opinions. Well, because here we can see this another two points. Okay. Now let's check it the more. And here is the moments. What is the dangerous topics? Okay. Now we can see. Now it is the significant terms at well. Now here is another person. With another person that would be almost Adrian Lufthansa. Well, he claimed himself that Adrian Lufthansa. Well, here we can see that would be it is the point to be noticed. Now, in thread.coms, we contains the capability to counter the anti-American politicians here, Omar Elan, Kamala Harris, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Well, we are countering the propaganda of Kamala Harris in thread.coms because it is the American thread.coms. Okay. And now, there is the points to be noticed, and that is the significant points, and that can be acceptable. But what if the the thread like social media, thread.com like social media would be controlled by BRICS organizations with a 5-country member to be Russia, Brazil, China, South Africa, and India. And here we can see now in these cases, Kamala Harris contains the account in the social media to be alternative of thread.coms. And now in these cases, well, when Kamala Harris would contain that negative geopolitical video against our honorable United States President Donald Trump, here if we are trying to counter the video, counter the post of Kamala Harris, the BRICSTube.coms would eliminate our BRICS accounts. Because what is the cases at the points? Here our statement would be thus: we are violating the gender equalities. Yes. Well, according with BRICSTube.coms, the why we are violating the gender equalities, we are countering a toxic feminist politician to be candidate of United States presidential election in 2028. Yes, we are countering her. The cringe thread post. And now, in this case is the moments. And now somehow, if Atul Subhash would be alive in 2026, well, his freelancing points in American thread and in American YouTube would be beneficial for American YouTube and American threads. And on the other hand, well, social media of BRICS organization would get threats from the alive Atul Subhash in 2026. And now here is the results. That's points. Well, we can see here the probable to increase the probability of BRICSTube.coms. Well, here BRICS organizations women ministers are united to eliminate Atul Subhash in the court case where the case is husband Atul Subhash versus wife Nikita Singh Hania. And now that is the moments of the points. Okay. And now we can see what is the typical moments at the. Now we are discussing at the significant points. But now here our topic is about. But our last segment is Tulsi Gabbard. Now let's take the points. Tulsi Gabbard is one of the women to eliminate Atul Subhash in the case against his wife, divorced wife, Nikita Singh Hania. Okay. Now let's check the points. What was going on? Now let's check it. Well, now in these cases, now here we can see Tulsi Gabbard states that she is exposing Dr. Fauci. Now, complaint is that Tulsi Gabbard is exposing Dr. Fauci. And now, Dr. Fauci is Dr. Anthony Fauci, we can see. Okay, now let's check it. And here we can see here is some problems of well, before COVID pandemics, Dr. Fauci, the head of National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in United States taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain of function research on bat coronavirus at the Wuhan Institute of Biology, works which is now widely viewed as a source of unintentional lab leak that appears the pandemics. Okay. Now it is Tulsi Gabbard case against Fauci. Okay. Now here is the points. Well, GetOutThread.coms, Get Out CWNs, Get Out Instagrams, and now let's check at the moments. And now we can see these points. Well, here we can see these moments. Well, Anthony Fauci, Dr. Anthony Fauci is the honorable head of Director of National Institute of Allergy and Infection Disease. I mean Director of United States Institute of Allergic and Infection Disease. Okay. He was born in 1940. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is his moments? Well, he decided that in the midway that he would become a personal doctor after graduating in 1958. Okay. Now, Fauci developed a fascination with World War II. He was raised as a Catholic. He attended Rice High School, competitive Jesuit school in Manhattan's Upper East Side. Okay. Well, and sometimes Dr. Anthony Fauci is captain in his school basketball team, despite standing only 5 feet 7 inch. Okay. Now it is the points of Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of United States Institute retired director of United States Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. And now let's check at the points. Who is Tulsi Gabbard? This is the significant question at the moment. Tulsi Gabbard is an suspended director of United States National Intelligence Departments. Okay. Now let's come into the points. Her education life. Well, she is born in 1981 and she is joined at a Leeward Community College when she was the age of 21 years. Now let's check at the points. Well, in 20 years, Tulsi Gabbard was okay. In 20 years, Tulsi Gabbard was homeschooled. Okay. Now let's check at the points. For 10 years, Dr. Anthony Fauci is a school basketball captain for 10 years and Tulsi Gabbard is homeschooled for 3 years. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is the reality of institutional school versus homeschool? Now in institutional school, well, if you could not pass in one class, a third standard or third standards, well, you cannot be promoted in the one particular schools and you can be suspended from the schools. And in another schools, you are repeatedly failed in third standards, you can be suspended from second school, and now in this times in second school you can be rusticated hence because you are failed in third standard for 2 years. But what is about home schools? Well, in home schools here we can see you can be studying at the third standard for 20 years. Okay. First. And no one can fire you from homeschooling. Because who is the homeschooling principal? That is your father. Who is the homeschooling vice principal? That is your mother. Well, you can be failed in third standard for 20 years and nobody cares. But in institutional school, if you are failed in third standard for 2 years, you can be rusticated. And now, that is the points to be noticed. That means your 20 years third standard students, Tulsi Gabbard is exposing Dr. Anthony Fauci, where Dr. Anthony Fauci was the 10 years institutional school basketball captain. Well, and here probably Dr. Anthony Fauci can pass the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, eighth year, and ninth year, and 10th years. He can be passed as in 10th standard in 10 years. From first standard to 10th standard, he can pass every standards in 10 years. That is the points. And now here you can see, here is the problematics is for Donald Trump's in these cases, well, doctor for now, why Tulsi Gabbard exposed Dr. Anthony Fauci in July 19th, 2026, because in July 17th, 2026, Tulsi Gabbard is fired from the designation to be the director of United States National Intelligence Department. And now, in these cases, there is the movements at the points, and that is the significant terms we could see. Now, what's the points of Tulsi Gabbard? Now, Tulsi Gabbard's point is significant, but now, at the moment, Tulsi Gabbard contains YouTube channels, well, from 2012. Okay. YouTube was popular in India in 2016. That means before 4 years of YouTube to be popular in India, here there wasn't Tulsi Gabbard channels. Okay. And now this is the point to be noticed. Well, here's an irony is that here we can see Tulsi Gabbard contains the several anti-national contents on YouTube, and now we could see now after Atul Subhash death, I mean here we can October, November, December. So, 3 years later, or when Atul Subhash has been self-eliminated, January 2025, Tulsi Gabbard became the director of United States National Intelligence Agency. When here we can see Tulsi Gabbard has been promoted from major to lieutenant colonels. Well, in the Independence Day 2021, when Vice President was Kamala Harris. And now in this case, there isn't significant terms, and that's the dangerous points. Atul Subhash probability contains and freelancing tasks that he would generate an artificial intelligence system to counters that can restrict the every contents of Tulsi Gabbard. But it is an American YouTube, and now here Kamala Harris has been scared of the ally Atul Subhash, and hence here we can see the points. There was no person to roast Tulsi Gabbard in the place of Kamala Harris. Even when and systematically Atul Subhash tried to restrict Tulsi Gabbard with his freelancing software developments applications. Here he has been self-eliminated in the divorce case between husband Atul Subhash versus wife Nikita Singhania, where who is the criminals? Nikita Singhania and Rajasthan High Courts, so feminist judge. And now that is the concerning point. It is the greatest target on the man's and on the Indian economical movements. I mean Indian economical points to be Indian gross domestic products. And now it is the first attack on Indian gross domestic products by the attack on the IT sectors. And now let's take the points. Well, now here you can see, uh, here when we are manually roasting Tulsi Gabbards, because here finally Donald Trump fired Tulsi Gabbard from United States National Intelligence Department, and now it is the greatest point to be noticed. And in these cases, here we can see, because of several nationalist American YouTubers here and the several nationalist foreign content creators, Tulsi Gabbard has been fired from United States National Intelligence Department. But if that would be BRICSTube.com in lieu of, well, the American YouTubes, then here we can see the funds. Tulsi Gabbard's promotion would be rapid, and she would be the midterm United States President in 2026. But after impeachment of Donald Trump, because the person to restrict Tulsi Gabbard BRICSTube channels can be terminated. And here we can see these ones in BRICSTube.com, where if we contest the one live stream to roast Tulsi Gabbard, our channel can be eliminated. And here we could see the alive Atul Subhash in 2026 was a threat for the BRICSTube.com's engineers. And now that is the reason that why Atul Subhash has been self-eliminated in the hands of torture of criminal wife Nikita Singhania. Okay, and now we can see the responsible, and it is my final live stream to roast Karolina Goswami. And now let's check at the points. Where is the statement of Karolina Goswami? And in these cases, Karolina Goswami states here, BRICSTube.com is understanding, and American YouTube is mysterious for women creators. But the reality is the alive Atul Subhash to be freelancing software engineer in 2026 is the significant threat for or BRICSTube.com engineers. I mean the cyber engineers of BRICS organization with the 5 country members to be Russian, Brazilians, Chinese, South African and Indians. And now here is the significant points. Well, now here you can see. Well, now here we can see the points. We contain an significant heart disease because we contain an sorrow for the death of Atul Subhash. May Adonai send Atul Subhash to the golden heaven or the uranium heavens. And now, well, here we can see it is the points of Atul Subhash. Now, it is the last point to discuss about BRICSTube.com. It is the last live stream. And tomorrow we could probably roast Karolina Goswami, but our topics would be, first, here our topics would be FCRA bill, 2026 or FCRA Law 2026. And here Karolina Goswami is against here Western Christian communities. And now, well, it is the sorrow points we could notify. Well, now I believe that I contains no interactions with my 30s friends, and now I wish if I contains an interaction with 30s friends, and here I would be satisfied. Okay, see you then.